Motorsport TV Live, brought to you by Motorsport Tickets, the dedicated motorsport experiences provider.
Hello and welcome to Motorsport TV Live. I'm Chris McCarthy with all the latest from the world of motorsport. Lewis Hamilton says he now feels in the best shape possible for F1's title running. New Alfa Romeo driver Zhou gets the backing of his current F2 teammate, and there's news of an electric revival for an iconic rally car. All those stories and more coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. First though to Lewis Hamilton, who feels he and Mercedes are in the best shape they have been all season as he heads into the final two Formula One races of the year. The seven-time world champion has closed to within 8 points of Max Verstappen in the drivers' standings following his dominant victory in last weekend's Qatar Grand Prix, and now thinks everything is coming together at the right time. The seven-time world champion said, "The car is feeling better than ever and I feel positive going into these next couple of races. I think they should be quite good for our car, so I'm looking forward to that battle." Despite not adding any updates to the car since Silverstone, Hamilton feels they understand the car better now and are able to squeeze more out of it. Having also not always felt 100% physically this season, Hamilton has also confirmed he now feels in the best shape going into the final two races. There's been more fallout to Sunday's Grand Prix in Qatar, and Mercedes have concluded that car damage suffered due to curb strikes was a result of them not being aggressive enough. In the race, it's been suggested the repeated running over the curbs played a part in the tyre failures suffered by Valtteri Bottas, Lando Norris and Williams duo George Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Rather than the issue being that the curbs were too rough, Mercedes head of trackside engineering Andrew Schlovlin says the situation was so difficult because the curbs were actually too low, so there was no deterrent from running over them. It appears though that his opinion isn't shared by everyone. F1 race director Michael Massey said that there was nothing unique about the curb design at Losail, which are regularly in place at both MotoGP and F1 venues. He cited the fact that the exact same curb concepts are used without complaint at the final sequence of the Red Bull Ring in Austria. New Alfa Romeo recruit Guan Yu Zhou has been backed by fellow Alpine junior driver Oscar Piastri to do a good job in Formula One next year, and he feels recent criticism of China's first Premier Series driver as pretty unfair. Zhou is known to be bringing financial backing to Alfa Romeo, with outgoing driver Antonio Giovinazzi taking to social media to say that F1 could be ruthless when money rules. Piastri was also linked with that seat to partner Valtteri Bottas next season, but when asked by Motorsport.com what he thought of Zhou being bought in, the F2 Series leader was excited to see how he'd get on. However, if Zhou cuts ties with Alpine, as expected when he moves to Alfa Romeo, it does pave the way for Piastri to be the team's leading young driver, which the Australian admitted might be nice in some ways to have his rivals out of the picture. Well, don't go anywhere. We've got lots more news from the world of motorsport, including news of an F2 boost for Campos Racing. That's coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. Great stuff there from the new series of The Racing Files with Season 3, now available on Motorsport TV. In Formula 2 news, Ralph Boschung has confirmed he will remain with Campos Racing for next season. The Swiss driver has enjoyed a strong return to the category this year, including top 6 finishes in all 3 Monaco races. Speaking at the announcement, Boschung paid tribute to the loyalty within the team and promised to repay the faith shown in him. Boschung becomes the second driver to be confirmed on the grid for 2022, joining F3 graduate Clement Novalak, who will race with MP Motorsport. F2 will be back in action for its penultimate round of the season on the 4th and 5th of December, where it will support the first ever Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Reigning Moto2 world champion Remy Gardner admits he expected worse from the KTM MotoGP bike he rode last week at the post-season Jerez test ahead of his 2022 rookie campaign. Gardner will race for the Tech 3 squad next season on a factory-backed KTM, having beaten teammate Ralph Fernandez to this year's Moto2 title. The KTM is an unconventional machine on the MotoGP grid, being the only bike built around a steel trellis chassis and equipped with WP suspension. The Australian wasn't dwelling on what were fairly average lap times, with all rookies in the same boat, also saying that he felt pretty comfortable when riding it. KTM's RC16 won twice during 2021, but it's broadly accepted that all KTM riders endured a largely difficult season. The GCK Motorsport team has revealed it is developing an all-electric version of the iconic Lancia Delta Integrale that it plans to compete in the World Rallycross Championship from next year. The French squad have spent a year away from the championship to focus on the design and construction of the new Delta Evo E. The Delta Integrale become the most famous and successful cars in the World Rally Championship, claiming many titles between 1988 and 1992. Team owners expressed their excitement on the project, calling the car one of the most incredible of its era. WRX will operate under new regulations next year, with all cars set to run under electric power thanks to a four-wheel drive twin-motor electric powertrain kit generating 500 kilowatts of power. That's equivalent to 680 horsepower. Well, that's all for now. I'm Chris McCarthy. Join us again here on Motorsport TV Live for all the latest news from the world of motorsport. Bye for now.